society. We see a whole lot of
True mission, or the reason that we are all live in the very deep source, is to gain happiness. You know, we're doing many things around it. You know, we want a good relationship, we want money, we want success, we want many things. But everything we do, at the core, is just to gain one thing. We want happiness, we want joy. And there is so many ways to get happiness. You can get happiness in the wrong ways, and you can get happiness at the right way. How you know if this happiness, if this way that you're getting your happiness, it's the right way? Every happiness that came to your life that fade away right after, it's false. Every happiness that it's remain constant, it's true. So now we see ice cream and we have a passion for this ice cream, and I say this ice cream will make me happy. I eat it, but even in the middle of the ice cream, I say I don't want it anymore. It's too much for me. And my happiness is disappear. But if now I'm giving my time and my love to my children, this is something that will not fade. It will stay forever. As I wrote in the book, I think you put it here, everything that we take for ourselves will not remain, and the only things that will remain is what we gave to others. And this is the basic thing for happiness. Now, the chapter for happiness, I will just give it to you in highlights, but everyone want to be happy. But if I now will ask someone in this crowd and ask what you need to do or what causing you to be happy, nobody really know, or most people don't really know what they need to wake up in the morning and what action they need to take in order to really be happy. And I'm talking about the sustainable happiness. And that's why I thought that a chapter for happiness is something that we all need to have in front of our eyes all the time. So happiness, first of all, is coming only from inside. My attitude, my point of view on the world will determine if I will be happy or not. We can take the same occasion of two people. Now I will have a flat tire in my car and someone else will get a flat tire in my car. I will go out and say, and can say, it depends here what I'm thinking, and can say, thank God, this is accurate for me and it's for good. Maybe without this tire, 10 meters forward, I would have an accident that will finish my life. Another person can have this flat tire, curse the car, curse his wife, curse the people that throw these screws on the road, and will have a very bad day. What's the difference? It's only the attitude. And it starts with the small thing, and it can go to very big things. I'm looking at religious people in Israel that, and in many countries. And I'm on the way. I'm not considered myself yet as enough religious. But I'm looking at these people, and even when they are losing family members that die, as a Jewish we have, it's 7 days called Shiva, 30 days when we go to the grave, and then we just need to release it. You cannot continue to cry on something that God, you can, but you decide to yourself that you create your own misery. So we have the power within us to decide if I want to be happy or I decide not to follow the rules and have suffering in my life. In nature, everything have only two directions, either growth or contraction. Nothing stay at the same place. The only straight line we can have in our life is when we are in the hospital and you look at this television and the line became flat and it's the dead end. So in order to gain happiness in our life, we need to be in constant growth. Growth brings us happiness. Growth, even when you look at it, there is a hormone in the body that when we in a growth status, our chemical bring us joy and happiness. So we need to make sure that we are working to make growth in any aspect in our life. So you need to work on your personal growth. You need to work on your growth at work, with your wife, with your children, with hobbies. Everything that you will make sure it's not either go backward or standing still, and it will be in a growth, will contribute to your happiness.
Amazing.
One of the major thing that causing suffering, it's the gap between what we want and what we have. We call it the blueprint. Now, we cannot control on what we have. It's depend on many aspects. But we can control on what we want, on our willingness. And as I said before, if we learn to appreciate what we have in life and accept whatever we have. If we have very few, accept it. If you have more, accept it. If you have much more, accept it and even give it. But by accepting what you have and appreciate and be in a gratitude, this is the core element things to make you be happy in your life. So we need constantly and be focused on what we want. Now, what we want is basically split into two things. Is what we want that it's what we really need, and what we want because the environment is pushing us to have it. So if I want what others have, this is not a true want. This is not a true need. If I know to distinguish and focus in the things that I really want, and like I say, it's very minimal. I'm in the Wheat Baker hotel, but I just took water. I don't even want to eat. So why you want this Wheat Baker hotel? I can be without the breakfast. I just need a small bread and water, and I'm great. So minimal your wants or the things that you want that don't bring you real value. And when I say it's very sensitive, because don't think that, I have only water and I don't need anything in my life. It's good to want to grow and have more, but make sure it's the right thing. The right thing that will contribute to your family, that will contribute to your society.
That's it.
This is another very important. Being in gratitude, it's also another key element for happiness. By being on gratitude to everything. First of all, to God for everything that is giving us. Be gratitude to anything that comes into our life, the good and the bad, because people want to gratitude only the good. But if you learn to gratitude everything that coming in front of you, you get a happy life. So this is something that all of us need to learn. The last thing, the last major thing, is generosity. As I say, in the end of the day, the only things that remain yours are the things you gave to others. So be generous. Like I said before, each one of you have a talent. Why you need this talent for yourself? How much you can get out of this talent? What you will do with it? But if you take your talent, if you are a singer or musician, and you share it with the world, you give the talent that the God give talent that you got and spread it like you do. Thank you.
Thank you, Nikonik. Wow.
Thanks, Doctor.
Happiness. I think from what Nikonik just said now, note that the interpretation you give to things, how you interpret situations, will either make you happy or cause you to be unhappy. Interpretation. He talked about the issue of having a flat tire. You have two set of people. One had a flat tire and said, look, I thank God I had this flat tire. Maybe this flat tire has saved me from an accident. That is one interpretation. The other guy had a flat tire and started cursing people, cursing himself, had trouble with a wife, became so sad. So you see two different people. One had a flat tire, said, Lord, I believe God is saving me from an accident. So the interpretation you give to things at times will cause you happiness or cause you pain. He talked about the aspect of contentment. At whatever stage you find yourself, you're struggling. You are hoping for something greater in the future. You have your plans, you're working towards it. You need to be happy. Be happy that you are alive. Be happy that you have a goal you set for yourself and you have vision, you're working towards something. Don't try to short-circuit the process. And that is what most young people do today. They want to defraud others to make money. When you defraud others to make money, it will not last. You'll go through pain. You can't have true happiness by causing others pain. So vital. You can't have true happiness by causing others pain. You need to spread love. Reach out to others. If you have been blessed by God, see how you can be of help to others. See how you can touch other people's life. There's an inward satisfaction and contentment that comes from touching other people's life and spreading that which God has given you. I mean, these are also part of the lessons we are learning. Most unhappiness today comes from what you think you want and your present state. He talked about accepting your current reality. When we learn to accept our current reality, I mean, not fighting with our current reality. In fact, I still recall the discussion I had with Nee, and I learned a lot from that, my meeting with him in Israel. He said most times we become so frustrated because we fail to accept our current reality. We try to fight it. And when you try to fight your current reality, you become frustrated, you go through pain. Accept it. Let's assume you lost your job. That's my reality at this point. You are hoping that something else better will come ahead of you. Yep. You are hoping and believe that, look, this is my reality. Maybe before you lost your job, you've had some money, you're living so great. Why don't you cut down on your expenses? Why don't you cut your coat according to your size? At this point in life, it's no longer what it used to be. When you accept that reality, that will help you to cope with every situation. But most times, you find yourself in certain position in your life, and then you're thinking about others. You're envious about others. You have that inner struggle, inner war. That on its own will cause you pain. At whatever state you find yourself, he said something, gratitude. The ability to say, look, I'm grateful. You know, most people think that until they have the whole money on the wall, the whole money, even those who are billionaires already, they are still seeking for more. They are giving their life, they want more.
Think about it. You think that they are contented. No. Contentment is within. That you need that inner peace where you have that satisfaction. And you are grateful for what God has given you. You have a place to rest your head. There are those who don't have a place to rest their head. You need to realize that. There are those who have one car. They are mourning and crying that they don't have 2 or 3 cars. But there are those who go by foot, who don't have one car at all. So realizing that for every state you find yourself, there's that desire, you need that contentment. Why you have goals, that things that you're working towards. So contentment will also bring us peace. I can't imagine a young boy, 18 years, who said, I will not go to school again. It's 419. I want to make it overnight. And then laptop. And even the parents will tell them, look, don't you see your mates? And then what happens? The guy thinks that he can find true peace and satisfaction by causing others pain. There's no way you can find true peace and satisfaction. Because you know what? When you cause others pain, inevitably, that pain will come to you. What you sow, you reap. It's like night and day. There's nothing you can do to stop night from coming. So most people do certain things and they think that there are no repercussions. Things you do matter. Don't wish others evil. When people stumble or have challenges in their life, don't rejoice over their pain. Don't rejoice over people's pain. But you know what? If you learn to pray for people even when they are going through pain, you're going to find inner peace for yourself. Number one, not only that, in your own moment of difficulty, it will be easy for you to navigate through. There are those who rejoice over the misfortune of others. Don't do that. Very important. So, spread love. Don't hurt others. I usually tell people that, look, the summary of the Bible, people can interpret the Bible and then, give all kinds of interpretation. But the summary of the Bible from Genesis to Revelation, as far as I'm concerned, is love your neighbor as you love yourself. That's the summary. Because if I love my neighbor, I will not want to hurt my neighbor. I will not want to kill my neighbor. I will not want my neighbor to have misfortune. Think about it. When you have that kind of mindset, it brings you peace. That is the summary of the Bible. There are those who can be prophet, they talk the whole prophet, they can harm others, then they can do evil. You're just wasting your time. You can have the whole title on the earth, but you're not obeying that golden rule. I'm telling you, you are nothing. Before God, you're nothing. So obeying that golden rule of love, of wanting to see others happy, successful, and also contributing to other people's happiness. When you contribute to people's happiness, it also helps to enhance your happiness. So Nekonek, thank you so much. Let's put our hands together for Nekonek.